Hello, intrepid viewers. Dr. Lena. Now, I woke up this morning to find that the Secretary of State in Maine has said the Yeti won't be on the ballot in Maine. So, on the one hand, I'm thrilled about that because it's always good to have a bit of news where the Yeti gets a smack. But I'm not sure how it all will play out in the big picture, because the Supreme Court has to work out where the delineation is on states' rights and all of this. But the important thing is legal people in these different states. I think 3 have said, yeah, he can be on the ballot, and 2 have now said no. At least it's the legal process showing signs of life, if nothing else, isn't it? And I'll digress before I even start. So if there's a big blue tsunami and the Dems sort of want to reinvigorate American democracy, it's one of the biggest differences between the US and, say, a country like Australia. Now, we have only 7 states and territories, not 50, but the principle's the same. So state elections, different states can do what they like. But if it's a national election, federal election, in your case, a national election, all election processes are standardized. I don't know why this didn't happen in America 150 years ago, 70 years ago, 40 years ago. If it's a national election, it should look exactly the same in Texas or Maine. What would I know? I'm an Australian. But I'm just saying, I think it's one of the many things that needs looking at in terms of the mechanisms of democracy. But another little buzz this morning. Now, Lauren Boebert has announced she's dumping her district and moving to the next one, the 4th congressional district. They'll be pleased. But I saw an interview with one of her voters. This woman actually voted for Lauren Boebert. There you go, no accounting for taste. And she was furious and saying she's abandoned us and she's just a grifting bimbo. Oh, couldn't have said it better myself. Love that. So let's motor on here. Let's see what this move for Lauren Boebert will entail. Let's see. Lauren Boebert going forward 2024. Let's have a look here. Oh, time's up, Lauren. Oh, hun. I think she'll be home minding the new grandbabies. Look, King of Swords, there will be some legal kerfuffle around this move, but here are the cards that matter. Wheel of Fortune, the time has come in terms of Lauren Boebert. It's a miracle she got up the first time, but Then she gets the Judgment card. Then she gets the Hierophant, government, law and order. I mean, if I combine it with this, they're going to find out she has been doing something, probably more than one thing, entertainment purposes only, YouTube. She's overstepped the mark with this. It's not going to work out for Lauren. Oh my God, do we care? Not really. Okay, so let's have a look here. Oh, we've got so much to cover. Now, this Jim Jordan-led impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, it's been so salacious, and unnecessary and vengeful and hypocritical and stupid. I haven't even bothered reading on it, you know. However, it is processing along. So let's see how it's going. Will they get the votes when they present the non-evidence? The problem is you can't trust these people in any capacity. So let's have a look what will happen with the vote by the Jim Jordan Committee. Really? You know. Let's have a look here. Oh, Jim Jordan's turned up. Well, he might be able to buy a few votes. That's about it. He's holding on for dear life because basically when this all turns to, let's say, mud in his hands, he'll be holding on to his shirt tails, you know, because he's allied himself so totally with this. We've got the strength card, which is about rising above your baser instincts or your animal instincts. But I don't think he's risen anywhere, you know. So I don't think that's going to help him. Behind the scenes, we have juggling and manipulation and 9 of Pentacles. I think he's actually going to bribe some fence sitters. But will it be enough? Let's just go another card. Will it be enough? Will they get the votes? Look, he's going to give it his best shot here, but this is the out of control night. He's doing this. Why is he doing this? I'm glad you asked. Just to suck up to Trump, the emperor. That's what it's all about. It's not even about Joe Biden. You know. Oh, sorry me, these people. Oh, I'll have to have a shower after this. Anything to do with Jim Jordan or Matt Gaetz. The energy is so filthy. It's the only word I can come up with. It's so filthy. Right now, Kenneth Cheesebro. Why? Why? Can you tell me why, viewers? You know, please write in the comments. Why do these people who go into bat for Trump, why do they think they will get any loyalty? It's been proved in 100% of cases, if not 150% of cases. You know, so now Cheesebro's upset because he's the patsy, basically, for a new angle. So this is Fulton, Georgia stuff, but it has other ramifications of organising phone calls. There are recordings of Cheesebro and others organising to fly fake electoral dockets, you know, I guess listing of voting numbers to DC to give to the fake electors. So it's like fake voting to the fake electors. And how is this not sedition? Why are we pussyfooting around with this obstruction of an official proceeding? No, I'm sorry. No, obstructing a judicial proceeding is like standing up when you're supposed to sit down and go, I object or something. That's obstructing. Not a full-blown insurrection, and certainly not this stuff plotted from the White House at the time with the Yeti at the helm. You know, look, these court cases better speed up is all I can say. Better, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Let me speak for you for a moment. They've got to stop dragging these legal chains and get their act together. Yeah. Where was I going? The Cheeseborough stuff. Oh, I've had my rant. We don't necessarily have to go further on that. Oh, what we will ask is, will this be picked up by other states, Michigan, Nevada, and Wisconsin, who were part of this ploy, and they've got their own inquiries going? So will this revelation impact on other states? Let's have a look at that. And Cheeseborough go, how come they're only talking to me? These people, they're pathetic. Let's go. All right. Other states. Well, the answer to that, I think, is a yes. But here's the thing. Now, the moon, lunacy. I mean, this is outright lunacy. It's, what were they thinking? What were they actually thinking? And why is it left to 25-year-old women to have to stand up, risk being doxxed and, death threats and everything for speaking the truth, when these grown men were harboring these ideas and carrying them out? Well, to answer my own question, because they live such comfortable, spoilt lives, they are out of touch in every way. I think this is a bit of a gulp moment. You think these guys would sort of be inured to the next legal angle, wouldn't you? But I think it's a bit of a gulp. And I love this Ace of Swords piercing the crown. They have nowhere to go but to blame the Yeti. And will they have the cojones to do it? Stop whinging, speak. This is damaging to Cheeseborough and the others, and I think it will have ripple effects in other states, because here comes the Queen of Swords. So we have 2 legal cards here out of 4. So, this is going to have legal ramifications. All right. Now, I've had a lot of questions about Navalny. Alexei Navalny, who has been found again mysteriously in Russia. Now he's been sent to an even worse prison, which is inside the Arctic Circle. I guess it's literally Siberia, and it's being referred to as the Polar Wolf Prison. And it has an extremely heavy reputation. You can imagine. You can just imagine. So I'm going to do a read on Navalny. So I'm going to cut to the chase. Will Navalny survive prison? Will Navalny survive prison? Will Navalny survive prison? And his daughter is so amazing. Have you seen her on any of the cable shows? How brave is she, knowing what her father's going through and speaking up? This is courage. Should be more of it. Principles and courage. Imagine. Now, him. Oh, King and Queen of Cups and the Devil. Oh, God. Okay. Now, not a fun spread, not a fun topic, so I'm not surprised the cards are really like they are. Let's look on the bottom. The shadow card is Justice. I'm pleased to see that. Okay. Unusually, the King and Queen of Cups. Now, I'm going to throw this question out to other readers. It's very rare to get the king and queen of the same suit, particularly in a mini spread. It's different if you're doing 20 cards in a tableau. Obviously, it's much more likely, but in small spreads, really unlikely. And yet it's happening more and more. And so I think there's another issue going on here. Men and women actually do care about Navalny. That's interesting. This is quite an emotional issue. You can imagine most Russians would be distraught with their missing young men on the front line in Ukraine, right? Because I'm sure they're not getting the news, but Dmitri's not coming home. You know what I mean? Like, so I think he has a place in the hearts. Not everyone, because I suspect older Russians have rolled with the status quo for decades for a reason, also an emotional reason, even if that reason is fear. But this speaks to emotion. He's literally incarcerated by the demonic figure here. But and here, not a marvelous card when you're asking about someone's well-being. What it does speak to, and I don't know if he is a religious man in any way, but he would, you know, the old saying, there's no atheists in a foxhole. You know that saying in America? It's a bit like that. His situation is so extreme. I think he is praying, you know, and who can blame him for that? And like I said, I looked under the deck, justice. So what I would say for Navalny is I very much hope he survives this, but he's more of an emotional figurehead either way. Right, should he pass while incarcerated, this could even expand. His role could expand, and that's the reason Putin, I think, is keeping him alive. But we will see, but that's my take on that for now. So let's finish with something lighter. Let's have a look here. Now, don't forget, guys, New Year's Eve, 8 p.m. EST, Jenlin's Tarot is hosting a big bunch of us readers. We'll be going for hours and hours. We'll be coming in and out. It'll be a lot of fun. So if you're not desperate to go out, you know, New Year's Eve sort of loses the buzz a bit, doesn't it, when you turn 35, I think. So if you're home, you can join us and you too can dip in and out, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. So now I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for you guys. Let's have a look. What do the viewers need to know? Obviously, it's time to make the New Year's resolution. You know, those resolutions that are usually gone 4 days later, those resolutions. But if you listen to the astrologers, quite a few of them are saying, be careful, literally, be careful what you wish for this year. Put energy into manifesting it, because there's a good chance these manifesting energies will happen. So if you haven't bothered with New Year resolutions for a long time, or they just fit into the usual category, you know, I'm going to lose 48 pounds by the time my daughter gets married or whatever, skip those. Think of bigger things. Think of bigger things. So what's the advice for viewers on New Year resolution? That's all right. Oh, bless. That is so amazing. I love this. I love it a lot. Okay, now, Queen of Swords. in this context, because we're talking a big group of people, your social justice conscience. So keep social justice things in your head as you're making these resolutions. So the King of Pentacles, usually like the greedy king and all of that, but I think it's not speaking so much to that. It's looking at the limitations of materialism. So we've all been encouraged to think, if only we could make more money and if only we had more things, etc., etc. It's questioning that. And who's questioning it? It's the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, I'm Sagittarian, as I'm sure you all know. When we designed the One World Tarot, I deliberately wanted this card to look a bit like a centaur, and she does. So the Knight of Wands is going into action around social justice. This is putting words into action. Now, on a more personal note, the Eight of Swords, which is about the restrictions we put on ourselves, right? And with this water, if we look to the creative arts, if we look to music, if we look to the intuitive, if we look to dreams, if we look to all those other non-material things, where is the King of Pentacles? It's like the King of Pentacles in our heads restricts us. We think we can't do this because we haven't got enough money. Can't do this, I haven't got enough time. Can't do this because X, Y, and Z. We all have them in our head, the sabotage loops. This is the mega sabotage loops. You know what the advice is? Walk away from your sabotage loops. Now, I'd even go, and I love this card. Okay, all the cups are up. It's time to move on. And this person wants to move on. I would suggest with this card that you kick back between now and the 31st and you actually try and identify and write down, because you know, what are your sabotage patterns? What is it in your head when you go, I should exercise more, but I should do more about X, Y, and Z, but what are your buts? It's deeply patterned behavior. We all do it. So the best thing I can actually say is write them down. Get a legal pad, bullet points, sabotage loops. And even write anything that comes into your head, but then go away and think about them, because it's time to walk away from anything or anybody who is holding you back. Love that. All right, guys, keep the comments rolling and I'll see you New Year's Eve on Jen Lynn's Tarot. Take care. Bye. Here we go.